Today we are looking at integers and absolute value. Please copy the standard benchmark indicator on a clean page in your math notebook. The student will identify and represent and describe absolute value. Understanding integers. The absolute value of an integer is the distance from that integer to 0 on the number line. Distance is always a positive measure, so the absolute value of any integer is positive. 0 is neither positive nor negative. The opposite of 0 is 0. Positive integers are to the right of 0. They're also called counting numbers. Negative integers are to the left of 0, and they are the opposite of positive integers. The distance from 0 to 7 is 7 units, so the absolute value of 7 is 7. The distance from 0 to negative 7 is also 7 units, so the absolute value of negative 7 is 7. And when they're asking you to find the absolute value of a number, that number will have two straight bars, one on either side of the number. And the absolute value of a number is always positive. Use the number line above. Write the integer for each point. Then write its opposite and absolute value. So we're going to do it in that order. It'll always be integer, comma, opposite, comma, absolute value. So we're going to start with A. And if we look at A, it's on the 0. We know 0 opposite is 0, and the absolute value is 0. So it's going to be 0, comma, 0, comma, 0. For number 2, we have B, and then we're going to count up. And we can see that B is on the point 11. So we're going to write 11, comma, its opposite is negative 11, comma, and then the absolute value of 11 and negative 11 is 11. For 3, we have C, and if we look there, it's on point 1. So we're going to write 1, comma, negative 1 is its opposite, comma, 1 is the absolute value. For 4, we have D, and if we count over, D is sitting on negative 4, so its opposite is positive 4, and the absolute value of both numbers is 4. For 5, we have E, so we're going to count over and we're at negative 2, and so the opposite is 2, and the absolute value is 2. For 6, we have F, and if we count over on F, we can see that F is sitting on negative 10. So we have negative 10, comma, its opposite, which is 10, and the absolute value of both numbers is 10. For 7, we have G, and we can see that's on positive 6. So we're going to write 6, comma, negative 6 for its opposite, comma, 6 for its absolute value. Then for H, if we count over, we can see it's on negative 3. So we're going to write negative 3, comma, its opposite is 3, comma, and the absolute value for both numbers is 3. For 9, we have J, and J is sitting on positive 3. So we're going to have 3, comma, its opposite, which is negative 3, comma, and then the absolute value of both numbers, which is 3. Number 10, number sense. John borrowed $6 from Adam. The next week, John borrowed $15 more from Adam. Write an integer that represents John's total debt to Adam. Well, we know that John owes Adam a total of $21, so we're going to represent that with negative $21. 11, reasoning. What is the opposite of negative 9? So to break that question down, the first thing we have to do is find out the opposite of negative 9, which is 9, and then the opposite of that is negative 9. So we're back to our original number. Please make sure you have all of the work copied down and glue this page in your math notebook.